Professor Videos, Backyard Professor Responds videos. I just found yet again another video just published today, this morning, from Clif High on the aliens and what they're up to. In this video, he is letting us know that the aliens are introducing themselves to us, and this is right in line with his idea that tomorrow, Tuesday, tomorrow, is the alien invasion, according to his calculations of the program that he put together way back in 2009, and he's been using it as a program of predicting based on linguistic factors, predicting. At first he was looking at the stock market, and then he began to build his lexicon, he says, and has gone through many things. And this incident of the interview with Joe Rogan, and President Trump is one of the factors that triggers, it's a triggering mechanism that triggers a alien invasion 39 days later. That 39th day is tomorrow. But I'm finding that he's not letting this go. He really is indicating that it's still going to happen. And I've got some video clips I want to share with you that he just posted a few hours ago. I also want to discuss the orb at the Manchester airport, and I want to share with you how I have been exploring this most fascinating alleged UAP incident at the Manchester airport. So let's take a look at Clif first, and then I will get to the orb at the Manchester airport.
Zero-point technology, unless you've had your head, in a bathroom with no windows and the door shut. You've got no excuse for not knowing that UFOs are appearing every fucking where, and they're very blatant about what they're doing. They're just sitting there hanging so that people will film them. Middle of the day, right over Brooklyn, just today, right? They're just sitting there so that they can get videoed from multiple angles. This is an introduction, people. These people are doing a process that is famous in the woo world. I mean, everybody who's in a martial artist or serious martial artists and serious history explorers know of this technique. What was that movie? They used it in a movie, okay? It was an artifice in a movie intended to move the plot along and introduce a particular set of characters. The movie was like The 13th Warrior. I think that was the name of it, or The 13th Fighter or something. And it had this guy who was an Arab going with some Vikings.
That was Banderas.
And he's the expositor. He's telling you how weird this Viking society is as he reports. Theoretically, you're supposed to be one of his compatriots in terms of the artifice of the conceit of the movie. And he's reporting how weird all these Viking guys are. And in one of the early scenes there, where he's just gotten to know the Vikings he's going to ultimately go and fight with here, they're there at the Viking camp, and that morning he goes out and he looks and he sees there's a new Viking boat there, and there's this young man dressed up in like top dog Viking gear just standing there, just standing in front of the boat, and he just stands there for fucking hours. And then ultimately, as the camp wakes up and stuff, but they were aware of him, ultimately they walk on out and they start talking to the guy, and he comes on in, and then everything goes along. And then this old man, who is the mentor to the 13th Warrior, to this Arab guy, tells him, oh, well, this is because in the land of the north, basically there's fog and there's woo. You're not really sure what the hell you're seeing. So as a guest, you don't want to startle people. You don't want to come on them suddenly because you're going to cause unnecessary upset and stuff. So you accommodate that by having this approach of letting the woo in the world see you rather than try and announce your presence, right? That's what these UFO guys are doing, all right? It is a very gentle process, a very gentle way of doing introductions. The Japanese used to do this as well.
So what he's trying to do, his contention as a basis for this UFO invasion coming up, his contention is that they are now appearing absolutely everywhere. And I've had several of my patrons ask me to talk about the orb at the Manchester airport, which I will do tonight in this video also. But he's just kind of giving you an introduction as to why this is happening. And the big show is tomorrow sometime. We don't know where. I have no idea. So everybody get your cameras out if you think this is really going to happen. I don't. I'm skeptical of it. It'd be interesting as all get out if it did happen. But he does contend UFOs against UFOs. And in some instances, it might be UFOs against our own fighter jets, our human fighter jets. He doesn't say this is going to happen over America, over the UK, over Russia. We just don't know yet. Let's keep listening.
Stories about warriors, even up into the Russo-Japanese war, like intrude, they'd come into a situation where they were not part of that fight. And they wanted both sides to know that that was the case. And so in that circumstance, they would present themselves to where they were visible to both sides, reasonably safe in making themselves visible to both sides. And then through their actions of setting their swords down and adopting a particular pose, they would indicate, we're not part of this. We intend no actions to cause either of you parties to flip out and start fighting. And then after a while, they get signs from the parties, okay, we'll let you go through. We got you. We understand. And so it's a way of humans and life accommodating for caution, right? And that's what these UFOs are doing. They're introducing themselves to us. And it's like, you know, the mainstream media is so fucking lame. They're not writing about it the appropriate way. They're saying, oh my God, new mystery. It's just hanging there. The idea that we're entering in this period of time where there's going to be extraordinary kinds of chaos, right? At a financial, fiscal, monetary, currency level. A lot of this is going to be, a lot of the emotional response will be prompted by not knowing. All right. So by this period of time, there will be a great deal of anxiety.
But he did throw in those UFOs as a basis of showing themselves because they've been gently introducing the fact that they're real. And tomorrow we find out that they really are real. He has not let go of this subject yet. And there are several other videos now that have cropped up discussing his prediction that I talked about for the last 3 days on my videos. Let me share this orb, though. This orb is so interesting as a subject. I want to share this one particular one. Yeah, this is the guy. Okay, so want to make sure we can see it. Okay. This gentleman has a video at the airport. And I want to share this because he says this is one of the best videos he's ever seen. I want to share this video and then I want to critique it.
This is Ash Rose 824 video. This is one of the best captures I've seen, a video recording I've seen of this kind of phenomena. Check this out.
There's a red light and then there's a big bright light.
You're absorbing around it. I know, Aleph.
Where?
Bro, I'm telling you, there was a ton of lights right now lit up. It's just hovering there.
The white thing on it up? The white
There's
dog?
no way, bro.
No. I'm not scared, but that's crazy though.
It's just there, bro.
What is it, Daddy? There's three. There's 3 aliens. Where?
In front of me, bro, right in front of us.
3 aliens.
Look. Oh, the other light's turning on.
Oh no.
Whoa.
To the lights. What the, bro?
Now let me stop it right here and talk. These are our own jetliners coming into an airport. From the perspective that they're looking at, that real bright white one on the right, the airliner is more directly facing them at this point, and that's why the light is so bright. The other lights are not directly facing us. They're not blinking in and out of existence. They are flying through clouds, and they do say that. These are not UFOs.
Oh, it's okay.
It's gone. No, it's still there. It's still there.
Do you know why that bright white light is flickering? Because it's flying through clouds and it's changing direction and it's changing the angle that the light is getting into this man's camera. That's why it looks like it's flickering. I've seen this same phenomenon in St. Louis's airport.
It's hiding in the clouds. I'm
It is in
zooming
the clouds.
in.
That's what my brother said. In the clouds. In the clouds.
Yes, I'm zooming in, babe. I can see the saucers in my zoom.
She can't see any saucers. There's no saucers there. These are jets.
I can see it.
You can see it, Zaid,
I
huh?
can barely see it.
Her imagination is saying these are UFOs, and therefore her mind is creating the saucers. Those are not saucers.
That's so crazy, though. That's cool.
Bro. Oh no! Look to your left. Look to your left. There's another one.
Now, this next part is utterly fascinating. This is very interesting. This is the part I wanted to critique as well.
To the left. Over here in the trees. What the, bro? What the? There, bro. Over here, bro. Oh my god, bro.
Now, if you look, the light distortion in the clouds makes them think they are seeing a very large craft here, a UFO, as it were. These are separate lights.
That is indeed very
Baby, don't
crazy.
move. I'm
No, it's not very crazy. These are jets coming in. You can see over on the far right, there's some more of them coming in as well.
outside the truck. Don't move.
They look very, very close to each other right now, simply because of the angle that these jets are in relation to the camera.
There's a ton. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez, bro. It's behind the houses now.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
Oh.
What is going on? Oh my gosh. That is amazing.
Over there, bro.
My heart's pounding.
I'm crying right now, bro.
Don't move, please.
He is crying because he's in the expectation that these guys are going to come and save us from this horrible world.
Okay, this is what I want to comment on. So when this video is useless as evidence, it just is, and here's why. Now, I'm not an expert at how to take video with our phones, right? We've all got them. Absolutely, all of us have them. But if you happen to see a UAP in the air or on the ground, instead of standing outside your car and taking the video and zooming in and zooming out and zooming in and zooming out, and then turning your stupid phone sideways and making it all go right side up and skittywampus and everything's still blurry, and then moving it back and zooming in and zooming out, stop that. Just stop it. Put your video on top of your vehicle and then hit the record button and quit trying to get close-up shots and then far, and then close-up shots and then far, and moving your camera around all over the place, looking at everything. Put it on something solid and get a good recording, because you can put this on your computer. And on your computer, you can enlarge it and examine it much better with much greater clarity, instead of imagining that every light you see in the sky is a UFO. It is not. We really, how can I put this? How can I put this that's fair? Stop believing everything you hear. Stop believing everything you see is a UAP because you personally don't know what it is. Maybe that's the best way to put this. This video is horrible evidence. In fact, this video isn't evidence of anything except people's gullibility, and they've got UAP on the brain. And I am being very charitable. This has been debunked by others. I just want to put my 2 cents worth in. I don't find this convincing at all in any manner. None. And neither should you. I mean, I'm a believer. And this is what is so ironic here. I believe in the UAP. How come it is that I'm the one that always has to be debunking the really stupid evidence of UAP then? Where is the good stuff? Is it too much to ask for someone to take just an extra moment, and make sure your camera's on a stable surface, a fence post, or your car hood, or the top of your car, or something, and then quit monkeying around with the focus and zoom and all of that stupid noise? Light pollution on clouds could make any shape they wanted, and since they thought they were looking at UAPs, those lights looked like a UAP. They were not. This is just beyond silly. That's my critique. I mean, do I have to become a UFO hunter? I might in my retirement, just so I can show you how to take a decent UFO photo or video even. It's insane how bad we are with our cameras. Everyone's got one, and nobody's getting any good video evidence, hardly at all. And it's frustrating. So that's my rant. Let's keep going, because he does talk about the orb at the airport that I want to talk about.
There you go. Do you see it? Contrast and brightness adjusted. The same orb from the Manchester airport. What is going on here? And we can see it in the original take. Look at that. Now do you see it? So we got this same orb showing up in different places.
That is pure guesswork. There is no way looking at an orb from that far away can be claimed to be the same orb in places hundreds, if not thousands of miles in difference. That's just pure interpretation. That's one part of the problem of this particular video. Let's keep going, though, what he says, because I have something to say too, and I am entirely unimpressed here.
This is the orb that we're talking about. If you haven't watched my last video, this is the orb that supposedly landed at a Manchester airport. Yeah. And we got this video over here. And then someone was nice enough to leave a comment with the link to all the files of a very similar event that happened in Rio de Janeiro. This is the video of the orb showing up in Rio de Janeiro.
Meu Deus!
So, sincerely, I have to say so. Well, hold on. Let me finish this clip, and then I will say something. Just by taking just a few extra minutes to think. and understand the logic of the situation. It's not illegal to think logically, by the way. It's not a sin to use our brains, seriously. It's not a sin to disbelieve what someone says or what your eyes see. I promise it's okay to use our God-given brains and be critical. That is, be careful. Just because someone says something does not mean it's true. We really need to get to this point in our mentality as a species. In so many regards, we are too believing.
Hoje que dia, gente?
Acho que é dia 18.
Estamos em...
That's not at all the same orb.
Ai, a gente fala bem poder mandar pro grupo.
19.
This
Dia
one's glow.
19.
The blue one was metal.
Gente, tá sumindo!
And this is the video of the orb. This supposedly happened in 2019, I guess. The entire town saw it in Bagé, Rio de Janeiro. And a lot of people recorded videos, and they were trying to get to this object. And so was the army. And so a woman, I guess, she was able to climb the mountain before the army got there, and she recorded a video, and this is the video.
O bloqueio da empresa, da indústria. Gente, tá aqui mesmo disco voador.
Now that is interesting.
Gente, muito grande. Não é
That is quite interesting. I have no idea what it is.
Okay, so she
not
says
moving.
it's the size of a bus. It's not. Look at that.
It's not moving. It's not flashing. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting there, right? I have no idea how close she is to it. I honestly don't know what that looks like. That's interesting. I will say that. Thank goodness the video is somewhat clear. I don't know why she's at such an angle. Maybe she's on a hillside or a cliff or something like that. But now that's kind of interesting. But just because there's a video here doesn't mean this is an alien-driven UAP or flown UAP. That's what I disagree with. We just don't know. Therefore, it's a UFO, an unidentified flying object, but I don't even know if this is flying.
The same thing with the orb that landed at the Manchester airport.
He can't know that. That is not the same orb. He doesn't know that. What if there's 200 of these different orbs and they're all over the place? See, that's an interpretation. That's where I disagree.
A lot of people saying that it's the size of a car. It's not. It's not.
Then what's the size of it?
So it seems that these orbs or spheres have been landing on Earth for quite a while now, and it's not supposed to be something new. A lot of people have seen it, but for some reason, it's becoming a big thing right now. And this is why I guess a lot of people think that this is probably to stage a fake alien invasion, and others think that they're trying to make contact. The question is, why? Why now? If you haven't watched my last video.
Okay. With this particular photo, I've got a short that I want to show you as well so that you can see where on this airport runway this orb is sitting. Now, I need to first say up front, just as simple, clear, and open as I know how to say, this video right here is fake. And I have a gentleman who is a professional photographer who has made a YouTube video. No, it's not Mick West. It's someone else who has analyzed in detail why that orb has been AI generated into that photo. Okay. And I will share the link in the description below. I will show you a quick take of this gentleman so that you can see who he is and the name of his site where he talks about this orb. And then I'll leave a link. Let me say a couple of items, what I thought of when I finally turned my attention to this orb in Manchester. Now, doesn't it make you want to ask the question? Those are pretty big jets in that photo. So this is apparently a pretty big airport, right? So I Googled, what is the population of Manchester? It turns out that it's 471,000 people. So rounding up, that's 500,000 people. So this is not a country bumpkin village, right? And then I Googled and I asked, what size is the Manchester airport? And it turns out that it is 1,400 acres, and that the Manchester airport is the busiest international airport in Manchester in the UK. The busiest international airport. Now, there is a video that the pilot got of something that's round up in the air, and that's all he took. You could see the spots on his windshield, and then he had to go fly his plane. We don't know what that round thing is. Whatever it is, we have to interpret it. Okay? So that's one thing. There is then the photograph of this round deal on the tarmac with the jets in the background. What we don't have in this instance is a video of the orb that is flying and floating down through the air and landing on that airport runway. That is what we don't have. If you don't have that video, it didn't happen. Period. And the question is, why? 500,000 people in Manchester. It is the busiest international airport. So it's got many, many, many jets flying in and out, picking up people and dropping people off. So would it be a fair guess? And again, I'm just estimating this. Would it be a fair guess to say that there are, 50,000 people at that airport during the day? Pretty much, more or less. Let's say 30,000 to be ultra conservative. Every one of those adults in that airport has one of these. Absolutely every one of them. And there's many people walking around up and down the halls. Some of them are shopping. Some of them are sitting in their chairs. Some of them are napping. I mean, I've been in enough international airports to know that there's always people looking out the windows and watching the planes and all. You mean to tell me in the busiest international airport in the UK, nobody saw this quote, metallic orb come floating down and started videoing it and then watching it land? I find that extremely difficult to believe. You mean to tell me that nobody kept videoing, that there was no personnel who rushed out to try to get that thing moved and nobody videoed it, etc.? All we get is a story of someone who said, yes, when one of the officers approached the sphere or the orb, then it flew away. You mean to tell me that a round ball floats from the sky, lands, stays there for who knows how long, nobody knew, and someone did approach it and it flew off, and there was nobody at all videoing that? That's a bullshit story. I don't buy it. Someone is inventing this. Now, let me hasten to add, just because someone invents this story about the Manchester, but the local news media talked about it. The news has mentioned it. So what? I wouldn't care if it was Fox News and MSNBC and Donald Trump's Truth Social and my local news station. Just because it's talked about doesn't make it true or real. This is what I mean by it's okay to be skeptical instead of just always believing, because this is an invented story. It is fake evidence. And let me share the gentleman who shows us this. I'll just show you his website. It's about a 40-minute website right there. Oh, 17 minutes, 18 minutes. So I thought he was longer than that. But there's the gentleman. This is a fake doctored image, obviously the Manchester UFO orb. This is the world of McGray. I think he did an extremely good job. I was very impressed with the care that he explored and analyzed every aspect of how light would work with something like this. I will put his video in my description so that you too can watch this. Here's what bothers me. Here's what bothers me the most. People see something like this and they see a photograph and they instantly connect the only video, which is only that, whatever that round thing is in the sky, and then they say, and then it floated down and landed on the airport, and there it is. And this same orb was over there in Argentina, and out in Spain, and over there in Alaska, or wherever the hell they say this thing has been, and there's no way they can show that it's the same orb. It's just confabulation. There's no connection to that round circle in the sky in a video of it coming down and landing, and there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever of the sphere taking off either. And I find that very difficult to believe at a 1,400-acre busiest international airport in the UK on a busy day. I don't buy it. It's that simple. Now I want to share another issue with you that I found on a short, and notice how they try to make this look like it is a completely coherent story from start to finish, and it's all invented bullshit.
The most groundbreaking UFO footage was just dropped on the internet. This is a blue-shaped orb hovering few inches above the ground. It was captured at the Manchester airport in the UK by a pilot near this exact runway. Here is also a close-up and upscaled shot of the blue orb. Pause and just try to absorb this. The pilot who took this picture also took this video of the same blue orb hovering in the sky. It doesn't provide much details, but he claimed that the orb shot up in the sky moments after security walked up to it. Someone online also combined a few images into this GIF, which shows how the orb took off into the sky. This whole incident was brought up.
Why wasn't that video just a few images? In other words, this is doctored. That's exactly what we're witnessing. He says that the air pilot also took the picture of the orb on the ground as well. We have no evidence of that whatsoever.
By a Twitter user, Captain Bigelow, whose account suspiciously is now deleted right after he released the footage. And internet got to find out by this user instead, who archived everything just in time. I personally am blown away by.
Notice how clear this AI or else CGI image is as opposed to the photograph. They're just making this stuff up.
This as it legit looks real and it's blowing up on the internet.
Yes, it legit looks real. My question is it real? And the answer is no.
So what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's pure hokum. That's my thoughts on this. I really will advise you to go look at that Mr. McGray. Now, I know Mick West, and I know there's a lot of people who get tired of Mick West too. I get it. I understand. Yeah. But he has also shown how this is all just a story. So, folks, I know we want evidence for the UAP. I want it as bad as you do. But this type of evidence is the wrong approach. This doesn't work. It's got to be real or throw it out. Just because it looks cool. Who cares? I want to know if it's real. And here's our challenge, because CGI will fool us, because the CGI makes it look real. And it's all invented. So we truly have to be careful. And I promise God is not mad at you and consider it to be a sin if you disagree with someone's evidence of a UAP. I promise. I promise you're not going to get smitten down by God if you say no to a fake photo. Now, it took me all of 40 seconds to find Mr. McGray and his refutation of this orb. I just simply Googled it and it popped right up. It didn't take me 30 seconds to find out all about the size of Manchester, a pretty big town, so we know there's lots of people, which means there's lots of opportunities for videoing something so incredible and extraordinary as an orb floating out of the air and landing on the runway of an airport that would disrupt the airport. And yet no one thought of taking video. I get all that, but it's okay to say, you've got to do better. It's okay to be skeptical. It is not a sin to be skeptical of claims that don't have good evidence. I don't know how to convince people. Just take an extra 5 minutes and double check stuff, because these kind of stories have ways of being added to, just like we saw with that short. They added the story. Oh, this happened, and then this happened. Oh, and then this happened. And, oh, this became that. None of it's real. None of it's real. So that's my BYP response to the orb at Manchester and to the prophecy of the alien invasion, which I am truly skeptical of. It's a very dubious proposition. That said, I am going to have my camera with me tomorrow, and I will be looking up. Please, if this event happens, would you please not record it this way? Oh, there he goes. Quick, get him. Oh, zoom in. Don't do that. Don't ruin a fabulous opportunity. Make sure your camera is on something solid. Hit the record button and don't zoom in and out. Just let the camera do the recording, and you can then look at it on your computer, which is a vastly superior way. That's what I'm hoping happens if something like this is seen, because I think it'd be cool to watch. It's also going to be scarier than I'll get out if it actually happens. So tomorrow night, I will be here with a video response again. Whether it happened or not is irrelevant to me. I'm going to do another video. I hope it doesn't happen at night. Oh my God, I hope it doesn't happen at night. We so suck at doing night videos. I can see it now. Someone's going to sneak over to an airport and say, look, this is the UFO battle. They're fighting each other. They're shooting each other out of the sky. The lights are turning off and on. They got shot down. And I mean, I can just see the silliness coming on. I hope I'm wrong. Man, I hope I'm wrong on that score. So that is my BYP response. I'll be looking for you tomorrow night. Have a good night's sleep, because tomorrow's the big day. And actually, tomorrow starts for me here in about 4 hours. So 4.5 hours. So midnight is the start of tomorrow. So anyway, good luck. If you do see them, please don't blow the opportunity and do stupid stuff with your camera, like trying to zoom in and out, zoom in and out, zoom in and out, zoom in and out, and then turning it like that. Man, don't do that to us. Would you take it serious enough to at least try to get a decent recording? Thank you, and I will catch up to you soon. I appreciate all of you. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I appreciate all of you guys too. I will catch up to you tomorrow night, guys and gals.